Hi, my friends, and welcome back. I'm George Pearson. I do want to thank you for watching. This video is a review of the Canon Vixia HF R800, and that is a camcorder. And according to my research, this camcorder packs a lot of value for the price. And so recently I just purchased one, and I'm going to, so that's what this video is all about. And what we're going to be talking about, or what I'm going to be sharing is with you, we're going to take a look at the price, and in fact not just the price of the camera, but also the accessories, because if you get the camera, there's some accessories that that you're going to have to go with it, or certainly that you might want to have to go with it. So I'm going to cover some of those accessories as well as the price. And I want to also share with you the actual value, some of the features and some of the benefits, of course, that the Canon provides. And I'm going to take it for kind of a test run to give you an idea of what it will actually do, so you can actually see some footage shot by the camera. So be sure to stay to the end, because I want to cover some of the negatives. There's about a half a dozen negatives that you also want to know about. I do want to get right to it, but before we get started, just a reminder that this channel is about growing your YouTube channel as well as making money online as an affiliate. If either of those are of interest to you, be sure to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell, and that way you're going to get notified when these videos are published. The price is considered to be a relatively low price. The price is around $200. So let me go to my laptop so that I can show you the camera and some of the goodies that come with it, and some of the goodies that don't come with it, so you'll know what accessories that you might want to have or might need. Well, let's get right to it. Okay, we're on my laptop, and this is the camera, of course. As you can see, it's a Canon Vixia HF R800. HD, of course, is for high definition. Does have a 57 zoom, so it will actually zoom up to 57 times. So that's quite a feature. And it also has an additional feature to help you with the zoom, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. And I'm also going to leave a link below to Canon itself, so you can get, if you want more of the technical aspect. The Canon is a handheld camera. It's lightweight, it's small. There's a strap, of course. There's also a little area here to help. So if you were using it for a long time, this will help make it a little more comfortable. It does have a lens cover, and if you forget to open the lens, it's going to tell you to open the lens. Hey dummy, the lens cover. Open that lens cover. It will tell you if you open the camera up. It also has on this side, just below the strap, there's a plug here, and this is where you would plug the charger in if you wanted to charge it or recharge it or run the camera off of the charger. And the charger adapter comes with the camera. This just plugs into the wall or whatever, flips out, plugs in. This goes into the camera, of course, where I had mentioned. It will actually run your camera as well as charge the battery. In fact, I tried it without the battery. I took the battery out completely, and it actually will run the camera without the battery. And this is the battery. This is actually the standard battery that comes with the camera. You just put it in, it goes in, it comes in and out real easy. This switch this right here will turn the camera on. You need to open the flip screen in order to turn it on, you might say. This turns the camera on, but it is not filming. Okay, the screen, of course, will flip front or rear. You got to open the lens cover, and then it should run. Now, in addition, I'm hoping you can see that, it's going to tell you how much time you have left on the battery. The red light's going to tell you that the camera is actually filming. It's not just on, it is filming. And then if you plug in an external mic, that first hole is for the mic. And if you plug a mic in, it needs to be powered. The mic has to have its own power, but if you plug a mic in, then there'll also be a bar that will show up here. And an external mic, of course, does not come with the camera. I'm plugging the Boya mic in right now. I think you can see on there the bar shows up. I'm hoping that you can see the sound bar and see as I talk, so that way you know that your sound is on. The red light let you know that your video is on. You're going to get the camera, you're going to get the charger and adapter, you're going to get the cables, and you're going to get the battery. Those are included. So those are going to come with the camera. Now anything else is an option. So in other words, you should get, but you may not get, an SD card. Now I like the idea that it's a full-size SD card, by the way. This is, as small as that is, if you're at all familiar with SD cards, this is actually a standard SD card. But I like the SD card being a standard card because that fits directly into my laptops. No problem whatsoever. So I don't need any extra equipment. I don't need any download. I don't need anything. It just goes right in, and I can easily transfer or import the video that's on this SD card to my editor. So that I do like. But an SD card is not necessarily included with the camera. So make sure that you are either getting one, or if you're not getting one, make sure that you do get one, because you're not going to be able to run the camera without the SD card. You have to have that SD card in order to run the camera. It goes right in very easily. Just push it in. Push it all the way in, and it's done. And if it doesn't have the SD card in there, of course the screen's going to tell you. The SD card run about $8. The camera itself, I happen to manage to get it a kit, you might say. Got the whole kit for $199.95, I believe. Kit included the case. That was included. It also included a 32 gig. And the case is a pretty nice case, because the case has room for the camera, room for the accessories, an extra pocket for more. There's actually quite a bit of room here, even though it's a small case, and it just makes it easy to put everything together. So one of the things that I purchased was an extra battery and charger. This is a Castar. Again, I'll leave links below to all this stuff if you want to check it out, but I just wanted to have a backup battery and charger, and with a 7-hour plus charging time, I wanted to have an extra charger. You're looking at probably $20 or so for this. The battery just slides in, plug it in the wall, and charge the battery. Now the other thing that I purchased was a tripod, or this is a tabletop. You can get a tabletop, a stand. If you get a kit, be a little careful, because the tripods in some of these kits, some of them may be great. Some of the tripods may be great, but a lot of them leave a lot to be desired. They're kind of cheap. And you can see it just screws right in. What I like about it is that these legs are adjustable, and they're also adjustable this way as well, if you can see what I'm saying. So I can adjust these as well. And this is sort of rubbery and whatever. So this is, if I put this on maybe a surface that isn't exactly flat, or a rock or whatever, it's much easier to use this kind of a tripod as far as getting the camera actually level, and it's less likely to slip and fall off. Purchased a light kit, and again I got it with the stand included. That's another accessory that you might want to purchase. The light runs $20 to $30, depends. This one I got for less than $20. You're probably going to want a light kit or some kind of extra lighting. Again, I would recommend that you get something with the stand, because then you don't have to worry about whether it's going to fit on the camera and how it's going to fit on the camera, and do you have the right adapter and whatever, because there's no hot shoe on that camera. You may want to add extra SD card or more. You can get an SD card for around $8, maybe a little bit less, a 32 gig. Again, that's standard size. That's standard. Don't get the mini or the ultra or whatever. Get the standard size SD card. Probably going to want an external microphone. This is the Boya case. This comes with it. Again, this runs around $20. It's got somewhere between 18 and 20 foot of cord. It's tiny, small, just clips on. Does come with a phone cover for noise. Goes right into the camera, no problem. Fine, plugs in fine. It's a perfect fit, perfect match. It includes a battery, and of course this is what you have to have with the Canon. You have to have some kind of power source, and there's a little switch here. There's a little switch, and the switch this way is off. So if I'm using this, let's say in my laptop, then I would have it off. If I'm using it on the camera, I have to switch it to camera. If I don't switch it to camera, there is no power. So this little switch turns that battery on. And again, it's a nice little clip-on mic. There's also a clip here as well. So I would recommend that that you get an external mic. I don't think that you're going to be thrilled with the built-in mic because it picks up everything. And and one other thing I want to share with you about the microphone is that the built-in mic, it is subject to echo. If there's any kind of a hard surface that might bounce the sound back to the camera, then you want to either move the camera away from that surface or cover the surface with a towel or a blanket or whatever to stop that bounce back, to stop the echo. And when it comes to even an inexpensive microphone, they are more or less designed to pick up the noises that they're supposed to pick up and kind of exclude the noises that you don't want. One other thing that you might want to add is a green screen, and I've got a green screen behind me, and I got a green screen kit for about $33, and that included 3 screens, actually. A really good stand, a quality stand, which is what I wanted. I wanted that quality stand because you can get the screen itself for around $5 or less. So the screens are cheap, but to get a quality stand, that's what I wanted. So I wanted that quality stand, and so I got a quality stand, and like I say, green, white, and black screen for $33. Camera and the accessories that I think that you're going to want to have, and even if you don't get them right away, I think you're going to realize, geez, I really want to have that light. I really want to have an extra battery. I really want to have an extra SD card and so on. So these are, if you put all these things together up front, you're going to probably be around $300. And that is considered, that's supposed to be a low-priced package. On the other hand, for the value that you're getting from the camera, it's pretty awesome. And one of the features of the camera, and we're going to take it for a test drive in just a moment, one of the features of the camera is that it says that it has extreme stabilization, and it stabilizes in 5 different ways. So next thing we're going to do is kind of put the camera through its paces. We're going to take it for a test run. Test the stabilization, the focus, the color, how it works with distance, autofocus, zoom, sound, and so on. So let's get right to it. I've taken us to a place called Lake Louise. And Lake Louise is the same name as the lake up in Canada, but it's a little lake right here in North Carolina. And one of the things that I've noticed is that out in the sunlight, it's very difficult to see the screen. The flip-out screen is very hard to see. So that is a negative, although on the other hand, it's pretty much a point and shoot. I am inside or under a covered area. This park is pretty incredible, and I'm purposely showing you this because I want to see how it does in the low light. And there is quite a bit of road noise. I am guessing that it is probably not blocking that noise out. We'll have to see. So I'm just trying to see about the light. So I'm going to try the zoom and see if we can zoom in on see what we zoom in on. This is the zoom. I'm simply pushing to the right. It does have a finder, and it is 57 times. And we'll zoom it back. We'll check out the zoom on that. Trying to hold her steady. Okay. Main Street Nature Park, and it's a great little park. In the summer it's even nicer, but it's not very big, but an excellent place to go take a nice little walk. You can walk right around in a circle, and I'm taking you down the stairs, and the idea is I want to see how this stabilizer works. I think it's going to work pretty well, but of course the stairs are jolting a little bit. Let's see how if that matters. Of course the camera is small, It's lightweight, and I do like that. It's real easy to carry. It's extremely easy to set up. When you get the camera, there's some setup instructions. You're simply going to pick your language and so on. It takes just a few seconds to set up. So the camera, it's ready to go almost instantly. It does have the flip out screen. I like to be able to see what is actually going to be in the image, what is actually going to be in the video. So this is one of the things that I personally like about it. It still can be used as a point and shoot camera. And of course the screen can flip front or rear. The camera does come in black or in white. So you can get it, in other words, there's two colors available for the camera itself, the black, or it also comes in white. The camera can be set on auto, and I would pretty much recommend that you set it on auto and just let it kind of do its thing, because it's gonna give an amateur like me professional results. So let me share with you some of the negatives. These in the course of my research, one of the things that was mentioned was audio, and one of the things that I want to make you aware of is there are a couple of negatives actually regarding the audio. If you use the built-in audio, it does work, it works very well, but it's going to pick up everything. So it might be a little more than you want. So definitely, if there's any kind of background noise and you're using the built-in microphone, you want to try to stop that noise, eliminate that, any kind of noise, try to eliminate it, because it's going to pick it up. If you use an external mic, and I'm using an external mic, I'm using a Boya M1, which I showed you earlier. What you need to know about that is that if you use an external mic, it has to have its own power. If it doesn't have its own power, if it's just a regular microphone that you plug into your laptop or whatever, that doesn't have its own power, it's not going to work. Negative number 2, recharge time. It takes, according to my research, it takes over 7 hours to recharge the battery. Now that's not a big deal when you can plug the battery in and run the battery and so on, but it can be a big deal if you're out somewhere and your battery dies. The negative number 3, indoor lighting. As you saw in the video, it does have the backlight correction. So this is a negative that I discovered in my research, but this is one that I don't feel is really that valid, because as far as I'm concerned, the camera seemed to work quite well in low light. In fact, it not only worked quite well, it actually tried to auto-correct on the background. So as far as indoor lighting or low lighting, I think that is actually a plus for this camera instead of a negative. So that's one of the negatives, fortunately, that in my opinion turned out to be a plus. The camera does not have a hot shoe. So a lot of the accessories that you purchase for a lot of these cameras is not going to work on this camera because it doesn't have that hot shoe feature. So if you purchase an accessory, you might want to make sure that you purchase it with a tripod, a stand, or whatever, so that it can kind of stand alone, literally stand alone. So if it's a mic, then either have it be like a clip-on or a lavalier, or make sure that maybe consider a mic that has a stand, because again, attaching it, if you've got your camera on a tripod or a stand, you're already using up that space on the bottom of the camera. You're using those holes are already used up, you might say. So now you're going to need some kind of an attachment or whatever to attach it, which you may or may not have, or the attachment may or may not fit. And therefore, if you get something that's on its own stand or tripod, then you're not going to avoid that problem. Number 5, one of the negatives that I read is that the autofocus tends to make a clicking noise. So in other words, if I'm moving around and you can't see the camera doing it, but the camera's kind of put me in a box, and that box is kind of moving around with me. And when I do that, supposedly that's like autofocus, or if I move in or move back and so on, that's activating the autofocus, because the camera's having to keep its eye on me. Pretty incredible technology, you know, for an old school guy. What I read was that this particular feature made like a clicking noise, and that clicking noise could be heard on the video. And to the best of my knowledge, that is not true. It's certainly thank goodness, not with this camera, and hopefully not with any camera. Number 6, the 6th negative that I discovered in my research was that the icons on the screen were too small. Well, number one, it's a 3-inch screen, and so it's a relatively small screen. You don't want the icons to be too big, because then there wouldn't be room for your video. And I want to be able to see the video primarily. So as far as I'm concerned, the icons are large enough for me to see. As far as I'm concerned, that is not a negative. Perhaps if your vision isn't all that good, then this could be negative. And I don't know that there's a way to increase the size of the icons. Number 7, and I think this is a valid negative, and I think, but it's true of most any flip-out camera. When you're using that flip-out screen and you're in direct sunlight, in the sun, you're not going to be able to see what's on that screen. Or, on the other hand, the camera is a point-and-shoot camera, and one thing that I discovered is that if I can block the sun in any way, then I can see a little bit. If I can block the sun with my body or whatever, or get in the shade, then I can see, or at least see a little bit as to what I'm actually shooting. My conclusion, so far, I'm loving it. Personally, I'm very happy with the price. I'm very happy with the results. So I give the camera 2 thumbs up. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Hit that like button and give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. Do that right now. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Allow me to wish you much success.